All right, so have you ever dreamed of opening a restaurant in the UAE? Like, picture it, the aromas of spices and sizzling delights, the stylish decor, the happy diners.
Yeah, it's a dream for many.
It is the dream.
But the UAE restaurant scene, much like its skyline, is no easy feat to conquer.
Right?
It takes more than just a passion for food to make it in this market.
For sure.
You need a recipe for success.
Okay.
And luckily, we've got the ingredients right here in this Minuville blog post. Opening a restaurant in the UAE, 10 mistakes not to make.
I like it. 10 mistakes not to make. So this deep dive is all about giving you a head start, right? We're going beyond the basics. I feel like everyone kind of knows about the UAE, but we're going to uncover those insider tips, those unexpected hurdles that can really make or break your restaurant dreams.
Exactly. And we're talking about navigating a unique market, understanding the financial landscape, and making strategic choices that set you up for success.
Yeah, and this isn't just about serving up delicious food. This is about understanding the business side of things.
Absolutely.
And let's be real, the UAE is in a league of its own.
Oh, absolutely. You've got a melting pot of over 200 nationalities and a constant flow of tourists, all with very different preferences and dietary needs.
Yeah, so it's not just about choosing between hummus or shawarma.
Right.
You've got to cater to a global palate.
Yes.
And in the UAE, halal is non-negotiable.
Precisely. But it's also about recognizing the growing demand for vegetarian and vegan options.
Right.
Catering to these dietary needs isn't just about inclusivity, it's a smart business move in today's market.
And the competition. I mean, let's just say it's fiercer than a falcon protecting its nest.
Oh, yeah.
You've got international players, you've got established local favorites, and everyone is vying for a slice of that culinary pie.
Which brings us to a topic that can make or break even the most passionate restaurateur.
Oh, yeah.
The finances.
It always comes down to the money, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
And this source highlights a common pitfall, those hidden costs that can really catch you off guard.
Like import duties.
Yes.
You might have found the perfect Italian oven for your pizzas, but did you know those import duties can add up to 15% of the cost? We're talking tens of thousands of dirhams.
And don't forget those hefty rental deposits.
Oh, yeah.
Long-term leases are the norm here, often up to 10 years.
10 years.
That's right.
That's longer than some marriages. Talk about pressure to get that location right.
It's essential to negotiate favorable lease terms. And that includes securing rent-free periods during your setup phase.
Okay.
Those months of free rent can be invaluable when you're managing those initial costs.
So this is where a rock-solid business plan is your best friend.
Absolutely.
You've got to account for everything from equipment to licenses, staff training, and yes, even those fancy napkins.
Don't underestimate those seemingly small expenses.
Right.
They add up quickly and can make a significant dent in your budget.
But there is some good news on the financial front.
Okay.
The UAE government is actually quite keen on supporting entrepreneurship, and there are grants specifically for startups.
The Mohammed bin Rashid Fund for SMEs, for example, offers grants covering up to 50% of startup costs. That's a potential lifeline for new restaurateurs.
Huge.
But you have to be proactive, do your research, and navigate the application process.
So you've secured your funding, at least on paper. You've got your business plan in check, but where do you put your restaurant?
Location is everything, and in the UAE, it's not just about finding a street corner with good foot traffic.
It's about understanding the nuances of the market.
Like what? Give us an example.
In the UAE, parking isn't just a convenience, it's a necessity. A prime location with limited parking. That's a recipe for disaster.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because everyone, I feel like in other places, people are used to walking a little bit or taking public transportation, but that's not necessarily the case in the UAE.
And let's not forget about public transportation. Not everyone in the UAE is rolling up in a chauffeured car.
You need to consider accessibility for everyone, whether they're hopping on the metro or hailing a taxi.
So it's about being convenient.
Exactly.
For everybody.
For everyone.
And speaking of accessibility, even with ample parking and convenient transport links, standing out in the UAE's vibrant and competitive market requires a smart branding strategy.
Right, because you could have the most Instagrammable shawarma in Dubai.
Exactly.
But if no one knows about it, what's the point?
And it's not just about being visible online. It's about cultivating an image that resonates with the local market.
Okay, so let's talk branding. What are we talking about here? Because a flashy logo with a falcon on it isn't going to cut it.
No, you've got to be savvy. A strong online presence is crucial. Think SEO, targeted social media campaigns, engaging content. But don't underestimate the power of connecting with the community. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it time and again, these stunning restaurants failing to gain traction.
Exactly.
Why? Because they neglected the power of building genuine connections within the community.
Exactly. Sponsoring local events, collaborating with local businesses, engaging with your audience on a personal level. These are all vital ingredients for building a loyal following.
And when it comes to branding in the UAE, cultural sensitivity is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. We're not just talking about avoiding offensive imagery. It's about understanding the nuances of modesty and respect that are deeply ingrained in Emirati culture. It's about reflecting the values of the community you're serving.
So it's more than just a logo or a catchy tagline.
It's about creating a brand identity that is both visually appealing and culturally sensitive.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the values and preferences of your target audience.
Right, so you really have to understand the culture.
And perhaps most importantly, it's about weaving those values into every aspect of your business, from your menu design to your customer service.
And speaking of customer service, let's face it, in the UAE, diners are used to a certain level of service.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you create an experience that goes beyond simply meeting expectations?
This is where ambiance comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about more than just fancy lighting and background music.
Right.
You want to create an atmosphere that is both inviting and memorable and rare.
So we're talking about creating a vibe, an experience, but in a place as visually stunning as the UAE, how do you make your restaurant stand out?
You're not just selling a meal, you're selling an escape.
Yeah.
People in the UAE appreciate luxury, even in casual settings, but it needs to be authentic. It's about reflecting the local culture in a way that feels modern and sophisticated.
So incorporating traditional design elements like, the wind towers, the Masli's seating, but with a contemporary twist.
Exactly. Think about the materials you use, the color palettes, the textures. Even the scent can play a role.
Oh, yeah.
You want to create a multisensory experience that transports your diners. Imagine walking into a restaurant and feeling like you've stepped into a modern interpretation of an Emirati courtyard. The gentle scent of oud in the air, intricate geometric patterns on the walls, the play of light and shadow.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But let's be real, ambiance can only take you so far.
Right.
The food has to be amazing, too. And while we've touched on halal, this source really stressed dietary flexibility.
It's crucial. Yes, you need to be halal compliant, but in a market as diverse as the UAE, you're missing out if you're not catering to the growing demand for vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free options.
So it's about making everyone feel welcome.
Absolutely.
Like there's something delicious waiting for them, regardless of their dietary needs.
And let's not forget about those who choose not to drink alcohol.
Oh, right.
A well-crafted mocktail menu is a must.
Yes. Because that shows that you're paying attention, right? Like, you're not just saying, okay, you can't have alcohol.
How dare you?
You've got options here.
It shows that you're going that extra mile.
That you value every guest.
Absolutely.
Because it's those little touches that elevate the dining experience.
It's about making people feel seen, understood, appreciated. And that extends beyond the food and ambiance to the overall service.
Okay, so the food is amazing. The atmosphere is buzzing. The service is impeccable. But what keeps people coming back for more?
This is where many restaurants miss the mark. They get so caught up in the excitement of opening day that they forget about the long game.
Oh, yeah.
You have to constantly adapt and evolve to stay relevant in a fast-paced market like the UAE.
Because the UAE isn't a place that stands still. There's always something new popping up, new trends emerging.
Exactly. You've got to have your finger on the pulse, be willing to experiment to keep things fresh. The source mentioned pop-up events, limited-time menus.
I love those.
Yeah.
They create a sense of excitement, of exclusivity.
It's a fantastic way to test new concepts, get customer feedback, and keep your menu exciting. You might discover a surprise hit that becomes a permanent fixture.
And speaking of keeping customers coming back, what about loyalty programs?
In a market as dynamic and competitive as the UAE, a well-executed loyalty program can be a game changer. It's about rewarding your loyal customers, making them feel valued.
So it's not just about discounts or freebies, right?
No.
It's about building a community around your brand.
Precisely. Think Personalized offers exclusive events, early access to new menu items. It's about creating a sense of belonging, of being an insider. And let's be real, in today's digital age, a seamless online experience is key.
Nobody wants to carry around another punch card. We want those rewards at our fingertips easy to track, easy to redeem. Speaking of technology, technology is changing the game in so many industries, and the restaurant industry is no exception. It's not just about online ordering and reservations anymore, is it? It's like you said, it's about creating a seamless digital experience.
It really is about meeting them where they are, which is increasingly online. A user-friendly app or website can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Imagine being able to browse the menu, make reservations, even pre-order your meals, all with a few taps on their phone.
And imagine if they could track their loyalty points,
Right.
redeem rewards, and even get personalized recommendations all through that same app. Talk about boosting customer engagement.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of online reviews and social media. In the UAE, people rely heavily on these online platforms to discover new restaurants and share their dining experiences.
Oh, for sure. It's huge. I mean, for me personally, that's the first thing I do when I'm trying to find a new restaurant. I'm going online, I'm looking for pictures, I'm looking for reviews.
Absolutely.
So what people are saying.
It's word-of-mouth marketing on steroids.
Right.
A positive online presence can make or break a restaurant in this digital age.
So you can't just, like you said, you can't just have the website and the app. You have to be proactive. You have to engage.
Exactly. You need to be proactive, engage with your online community, respond to reviews, showcase your brand's personality. It's about building relationships, not just racking up likes.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from navigating the unique market dynamics and financial landscape of the UAE.
Still a lot to consider.
It is a lot, to crafting a compelling brand identity, creating that unforgettable customer experience.
And let's not forget about adapting to trends, embracing technology, and always striving for innovation.
Constantly evolving.
Yes. The UAE's restaurant scene is a dynamic and exciting space, but it requires a commitment to excellence, a deep understanding of the market, and a willingness to constantly evolve.
So it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.
Exactly.
It's about creating a restaurant that not only tantalizes those taste buds, but also becomes a beloved part of the community.
Taking those dreams of the sizzling spices, the stylish decor, and those happy diners, and turning them into a reality.
That's what it's all about. So as you embark on your culinary adventure here in the UAE, here's the food for thought. What unique flavor will you bring to the UAE's restaurant scene? What will make your restaurant stand out from the crowd and capture the hearts and stomachs of diners in the Emirates? We can't wait to see what you cook up.